What is going on YouTube? Running Gun Sports back here with another video. Today is our Week 2 preview for the National Football League. Got a lot to talk about for the upcoming season. Excited, really excited for another week of football in the NFL. And so if you are excited as well, please subscribe if you have not already. Leave a like down below and share this video with your friends. Follow our social media pages at runandgun_sports on Instagram and at runandgunsports on TikTok to be the first to know when we release a video. But let's get right into it with Thursday night's matchup, the Giants versus the Washington football team. The New York Giants and the Washington football team both 0-1 coming into this game, and Ryan Fitzpatrick's on the injured reserve right now, so Taylor Heinicke will most likely be getting the start. Evan Ingram, Saquon Barkley are both questionable, so some big injury implications in place for the Giants. And the Washington football team, I think that their defense will shut down a very limited Giants offense, and this game could be very close to a shutout for sure. And the Washington football team coming off a close loss to the Chargers, I think they will bounce back this week. That is Thursday's game. Sunday's games. We have the first game of the week, the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears 0-1 on the season after losing to the Los Angeles Rams. The Cincinnati Bengals 1-0 after beating the Vikings in overtime. And with that being said, it's going to be a very warm day in Chicago, 89 degrees at Soldier Field at kickoff time. It says a decently warm game. The Bears, they don't play that many games in warm weather, and we saw that hurt the Packers this past week. Them playing the Saints game was played in Jacksonville, Florida, but still just not, I'm sure, hopefully they're more prepared. I don't know if they are or not, but we'll see how they do. But this is going to be a very interesting game, but I just think that the Bengals are a better team as of now. They just seem more apart, and so I think that ultimately will win in this game. The Bengals will go 2-0 in the season. The Texans versus the Browns. The Texans, a team that I didn't even think would win a football game this year, and they won their first game of the season versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. But this week they have a much tougher matchup versus the Cleveland Browns. This should be a blowout game. Browns coming off of a close loss to the Kansas City Chiefs, and they battled but just came up short ultimately, and just like how it was in the playoffs last season. But they will get their first win of the season this week. Pretty sure. I'd bet a lot of things on that. The Rams versus the Colts, two defensive teams fighting it out. This is going to be a very good game. The Rams coming off of a win versus the Bears. The Colts coming off of a loss to the Seahawks. And the Rams offense, they just looked so good to me this past weekend versus the Bears. And the Bears don't have a horrible defense. So I think that they're going to beat the Colts for that reason. And the Colts, they gave up some big plays on the defensive side of the ball. They were giving up a lot of long touchdown passes. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, Russell Wilson, they really picked them apart. So I mean, they did not look that good, but I think that they will put together a good fight. But the Rams offense is very solid. Bills versus the Dolphins. Last time these two teams faced off was a blowout win for the Buffalo Bills, 56-26, and the Miami Dolphins coming off a win last week. The Buffalo Bills coming off an embarrassing loss. It can be a very close game. It is in Miami, and it's going to be 90, a warm game for the Buffalo Bills. They play a lot of very cold games. I think that Miami, they've got home field advantage, and this is going to be probably the best game of the week. And it's going to be a close game, but I think that the Dolphins are going to pull off the upset, and their defense is going to stand up versus Josh Allen, who did not play very well last week versus the Steelers. It's going to be a very close game. I'm looking forward to that one big time, but I got the Dolphins pulling off the upset. The Patriots versus the Jets, both teams 0-1, defensive AFC East teams, and the Jets they're in a rebuild mode. The Patriots, they are also in a rebuild mode, but they have had a way more successful offseason than the New York Jets. Not successful, I should say. A way more, I don't know how to describe it, but they added a lot more players to their team this offseason, and obviously that helped them out. But fell short to Miami last week by a point. Easy win for the Patriots this week in New York. The 49ers versus the Eagles, both 1-0 teams. I think that the 49ers defense definitely struggled last week, and it's going to keep it close. That's going to keep the game close, in my opinion. But I think at the end of the day, it comes down to, can the Philadelphia Eagles score when they have the chance? And if they do, they win this game. If they don't, they win. They don't. They will not win this game. And I think that the Eagles are going to pull this game off. Jalen Hurts is going to have a good game versus this defense, and I think that they're going to get a 2-0 start on the season. The 49ers versus the the Raiders versus the Steelers. They're both 1-0 teams. Raiders winning a very close game on Monday night, and the Steelers coming off a nice win versus the Buffalo Bills. I just think the defense for the Pittsburgh Steelers is going to be too much, and they are going to shut down the Raiders offense and win this game. The Saints versus the Panthers, NFC South matchup. The Saints coming off of a very impressive win versus the Green Bay Packers. The Panthers coming off of a win versus the Jets. The Saints looked very good last week versus a good team, the Packers. The Panthers, kept it close versus the Jets, not the best team. So I think that they definitely have this one in the bag. The Saints do. Jameis Winston's going to have a very nice game himself. The Broncos versus the Jaguars. The Broncos currently 1-0. The Jaguars 0-1. The Jaguars played terrible last week, and the Broncos played pretty good last week. Not great, not terrible. I'd say they played average, and they ended up winning their game. So they had a very nice game for them, and they'll definitely win this game, especially if the Jags play like they did last week. It will be a blowout and not even a close game. The Vikings versus the Cardinals. Patrick Peterson faces his old team for the first time. The Cardinals definitely going to win this game by a lot, and there's not that much to say about this game. It's going to be a very big win in favor of the Arizona Cardinals. The Atlanta Falcons versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Falcons lost their game last week to the Philadelphia Eagles 32-6. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers will, without a doubt, blow them out of the water in this game. This will be one of the more lopsided games of the week. The Cowboys versus the Chargers. This will be a pretty good game. The Cowboys 0-1 after a very close battle versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Chargers a win versus the Washington Football Team. An alright game for them. They did come out with the win. A win is a win, and this can be a close game. But I think that it's really going to come down to whose offense can play the best and outscore the other team's offense. And I think that definitely will be Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys outscoring the Los Angeles Chargers offense, and that's going to give them the win this game. The Titans versus the Seahawks. The Titans struggled last week, big time versus the Arizona Cardinals, losing 38-13. No offense at all. This week versus a Seattle Seahawks team, no problem at all. I don't think that they're going to have much struggle running, passing, whatever, especially passing the ball against the Seahawks secondary that is not very good. But the Seahawks, they're going to score a lot of points. It's going to be a very high-scoring game, but I think that the Titans they're going to get the ball, and when they have the ball, they're going to score, and they're going to use a lot of clock up when they have the possession of the ball, and that's going to win them the game, and the Seahawks defense will not be able to keep up with Julio Jones, A.J. Brown, and especially Derrick Henry. I would not be surprised if Derrick Henry ran for 130-plus yards this week. The Chiefs versus the Ravens. This could be a very, very good game. The Ravens coming off a very tough loss on the Monday Night Football game versus the Las Vegas Raiders in overtime. The Chiefs coming off a nice win versus the Cleveland Browns. Currently the favorite right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are by 3.5 points. It's going to be a very close game. I just think that the Chiefs have more of a better overall team, offense, defense, all working together. That's going to help them versus a team like the Ravens. But going to be a very close game, one of the other better games of the week, and I'm excited to watch that game. It's going to be fun. The Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers looking to bounce back. If they cannot beat the Detroit Lions this week, which they should by a good amount of points, then Aaron Rodgers has got some serious issues going on. The Packers should win this game by a good amount of points. So that will wrap it up for today's video. If you guys have not already, please leave a like down below. Subscribe, share us with your friends. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.